Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me get myself together. I wish I could have came on here giving y'all more, but I'm trying to work out after this and go to the park. So minimal take off. And then let me go share this so we can bring more people into the room. I know if folks are working, they are on their lunch breaks and things of that nature. Oh Lord, let's turn that off. The volume sounds amazing now. And let's get into this. Now. Okay. Boom, that is done. Let me put my phone on airplane mode for the next hour. And girl, we about to get to it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Make sure the speakers are on. I'm really proud of myself for being on time today. Yay me. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Y'all have my undivided attention. Hey y'all, what's going on? My name is Brianna Jenkins, but here you can call me Aeon. And welcome to the fourth episode of AeonEsq Live. I'm so happy to have y'all here with me today. This is for those of you who don't know, this is a new way that I want to express myself through social media. I'm doing live specifically on Facebook where we unpack pop culture, politics, and anything in between that I want to talk about that's relevant to my life. I'm somebody that lives a multi-issue life, and I am moved by many different things. And I just want a platform where we can explore those things, where we can create community, and we could just have a good time. And I'm very intentional about having this during the lunch hour because I know people are at work and I know people need a break. So let's just come together and just unwind really quickly and just have fun, y'all. Just have fun. If you missed my live yesterday, I went live last night where I was able to talk a little bit more about the fallout from the reality check America's Next Top Model documentary that premiered on Netflix on Monday. I've had that was my second conversation that I had in reference to that documentary, and we did a little bit of a deeper dive, talking about exploitation and people's inability to really reckon with the fact that Tyra Banks is this big icon figurehead in our community, and that she had the propensity to exploit the contestants on the show that the way that we did. We talked about some other things that are kind of escaping my mind right now, but it was a very good, generative conversation. The people really showed up and showed out, and I'm so thankful and appreciative of that. And it was just a good conversation. And if you did not get a chance to see it, I implore you to go back and watch the live from yesterday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. They were really, really, really good conversations that I'm very excited about. And the people really show up on the live yesterday. It's amazing to me how the numbers just keep and increasing the more times that I do this. And that makes me so happy and it warms my heart. And I'm just so excited just to be here with y'all, just to be in good spirit. Just on a personal note, a bitch was laid off in December. And it took me about 2 months to just come up out of that. Like I literally had moments where I just stayed in the bed for days because I just, just trying to process the emotions of the situation and just trying to figure out what does my next look like. So after that 2 weeks, I feel like I'm returning back to myself and I'm trying to get back to the things that make me click, that make me smile, and definitely being on here with you all, doing this show, just being allowed to express myself and to express different sides of myself, that brings me joy. building the social media brand from the bottom up. That makes me happy. That brings me joy, and just believing in myself again, because I know I'm not the only person that is going through losing their job just during the economy, and it really does shake your confidence. It makes you question your sense of self-worth. It makes you doubt yourself. So it feels really good to be taking the steps to reclaiming my power, reclaiming my voice, and really focusing on things that make me feel complete, that make me feel whole, and bring me joy. Before we get into the Chasing Atlanta season 7, episode 4 review, Stir the Pot, just want to do some housekeeping. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, AeonEsq 88, where you will be notified every time that I go live. You'll be notified if I decide to do pre-recorded content. Later on down the line, I do want to create a members only section of the channel where people will have to pay a nominal fee. It'll likely just be like a flat $5, where we can talk about some more of the personal stuff that I'm going through, and just some things that's not for general consumption. I know in previous years when I have done things through different mediums like podcasts or my other videos I used to do on YouTube, it was very like trans forward and trans facing, and that stuff is still very important to me. That stuff is still at the core of who I am, but also just in these times that we're living in, and where I have to be more judicious about what I'm sharing to the general public. And also, community conversations are not for everybody. And if you really want that and you want to be a part of that, folks are going to have to pay to come behind the paywall and see that. But that's not now. That's coming on later on down the line. But just wanted to preview that. But make sure you go subscribe. You like the video. Make sure if you're able to share this video on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It will always be known as Twitter. Make sure you go do that. Also, early voting has started. I had the honor of voting early yesterday. I live here in Texas, so we have a very high profile Senate race, in addition to a governor's race and a lieutenant governor and everything. So make sure that, one, you are checking with your state to make sure that you're registered to vote, because the voter purge is real. And also make sure that you are going to vote for your primary elections. That's the season we're in. We're in primaries, and then we'll have the general elections come November. So make sure that you're registered, you're voting. If you are a Democrat like me, we got to get some of this old guard Democrats out, or this old guard Democratic thinking. We got to get that out. And part of being a part of that process is making sure that we're registered to vote, voting, making sure that we're encouraging people around us to register to vote and to go vote. So just keep that on top of mind. Early voting has started, at least here in Texas. So make sure everybody goes out and does their part, because the elections are still very much important in 2026. So definitely wanted to get that out there. So let's get to the fun stuff that everybody is waiting for. Also, this is an interactive conversation. So if something is moving you to chorus, please feel free to drop a comment. I will definitely share it across the screen. Also, depending on how long we stay on here, I will send the link for people to come up and share their thoughts and opinions once I get through my general consensus of how I want to do this. So if you don't know what Chasing Atlanta is, where have you been? Chasing Atlanta is a web-based Black LGBT reality show that I love, and that's near and dear to my heart, and that has gotten me through law school. And it's just a really good show that highlights business and creative professionals in and around the Atlanta metro area. The show just premiered its 7th season back in January. I'm just really excited that this in Chasing Atlanta is a part of a franchise. So there is the big umbrella brand is Chasing Reality. The flagship show is Chasing Atlanta. That's the longest running show. and then you have spinoffs, Chasing Dallas, Chasing LA, and Chasing Orlando. And if you have never seen this show before, you are really missing out. I highly suggest that you go to the Chasing Reality channel, that you subscribe to the channel, and that you just go and just binge all of the seasons of the show, all of the spin-offs. Like, you are really, 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 really missing out, because it's really good grassroots but high quality content that just gets better and better each season. And I'm so happy that the flagship show is back for its seventh season. We all know that after the sixth season, there was a lot of chaos and turmoil, and there was a lot of questions about whether Chasing Atlanta would come back for another season. So I'm so happy. It took about 2 years for it to come back, but I'm so happy that it's here. It's a nice cast. It's a nice mix of people. It's a nice batch of personalities, and we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to dissect, but this is not going to be a traditional review where we go through scene by scene. That's not really how I want to approach this. That's just not my style. I just want to give topical thoughts, and then if you're moved to go watch the episode, go watch the episode for yourself. Also, there are so many other people that review the show that I like to watch. So TTB does a review. I like the Chasing panel. I like their and some of the cast members on this season are a part of that panel. You get a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I'm just here to judge what is on what was shown on the show. I don't know none of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm not trying to get into the behind the scenes stuff. I'm just judging what's in front of me. Also, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. But I'm not coming at anybody to start no beef or to start no drama or to start, because I want to respect the humanity of everybody, and I want there to be a place where we can just be in conversation and be in dialogue. But my intention is to never disrespect the cast members or production. I just want to have generative conversation. That's all that I want to do, and I hope that we can have that, and I know that we can have that. So I want to do this in the spirit of Imani Van Zap. If you don't know who Imani Van Zap is, I'm not going to give the breakdown. What I will tell you to do is go watch season 3 of Chasing Dallas, season 2 and season 3 of Chasing Dallas, and then watch season 4 of Chasing Atlanta, and then watch season 1 of Chasing LA. You will know who Imani Van Zap is. And she is somebody, though she had to depart from the platform, I miss her presence on the platform, and I miss how she was able to break some things down. And I'm hoping that by invoking her and by bringing in, she's not past, she's still around. She just is not in this space anymore, and she doesn't do the breakdowns and the reviews and the interviews how she used to do. But in the spirit of her, I kind of want to approach my review this way. And we're going to be talking about the most recent episode 4, but it's kind of going to be an amalgamation of all of the episodes, because I just wasn't in a space. Well, I didn't have this platform, and I wasn't in a space to review. And yeah, it's going to be an amalgamation. But yes, and I've been doing my research. I've been doing my study. Imani had 2 ways that she would break her episodic reviews down. So when she first did it, she would break it down in the following ways: the things that I like, the things that I loathe, and the things that can be worked on. And then as she evolved, as she got more familiar with the people, and she just evolved her approach. She then evolved to who is chasing, who is wasting, who is standing still. Now, because we are relatively still new in the season, and because I think this is like the first episode where no main cast members were introduced, I want to kind of slow walk this and be in the beginning of the evolution. And I feel like the first set of 3 questions are more appropriate for what we are at now, for what has been shown. especially since there are so many new cast members. And I feel like the who is chasing, who is wasting, who is standing still, those are things that can come towards the end of the season, maybe at the reunion when I have seen the whole arc of these new people and we kind of get the totality of what it is that they wanted to show, what they got to show, and just having more of a picture to kind of assess or analyze those questions. I think that will be the chasing, wasting, and standing still. That's more appropriate once we have a completed season. We're not there yet, so I just want to start in the beginning. So, and I like to have visuals. Visuals are important. Visuals matter. Let me get a cup of tea because I don't want to be coughing during this. Oh Lord. Get a cup of tea, and then we're going to get this thing started. Also, I see more people are joining the live. Please make sure that you like the video and that you are subscribing to the channel. Got to do some light housekeeping. Okay. Yes, it tastes so good. Okay. So let's get to the first. So things that I like, and I'm going to start with the cast members themselves. Things that I like. Let's see if I can find the and yeah. Let's just start here. And let me make my picture smaller. Okay, hey. Yes, Quentin Lamar. So Quentin is one of the newest is a new cast member for season 7. And Quentin had a really good episode for this had a really good showing this past episode. So Quentin was introduced in episode 1, had a fashion event, and then episodes 2 and 3 was missing from the main cast, and then in episode 4 we really got great character development because instantly we addressed where you've been missing from everything, and then in the privacy of his home with his friends, Quentin really shared and really divulged what he was going through. So the reason that Quentin was away is because he was arrested for a failure for he was going through an ongoing case and forgot to show up for an appearance or hearing, and then whoever the judge was put a warrant out for him that he didn't know about, so he got arrested while he was en route to vacation, and he got arrested and he was locked up for about a month and a half or some extended period of time that was noticeable. And I really love the scene. I really love the honesty in the scene because so many times in these shows you have situations where cast members are going through life, but then we've seen how folks have tried to hide things that they're going through, whether them being locked up, them experience being houseless. We experience them trying to hide that from the audience, and then it ends up being exposed or used against them. So it was just really refreshing to see Quentin tell his story and to tell it on his terms. And also to be honest, because we're also this also connects to the chasing because he was able to talk about how he lost opportunities, how he lost money, but also it was a reset for him being away. And I think one of the important things of this episode in this particular storyline that I think was very important and very impactful was him talking about him being assaulted while in prison. I'm assuming I'm sexually assaulted just based on the conversation. And that's just something really hard to talk about. So I really liked how the scene was set up, how he was able to do this at his home where he felt safe, where he felt comfortable, and he was able to do it with people that knew him, his friends, rather than just being in a large group with all of these people that you really don't know, and then being put on a spot and being put on a spot, and then having to tell something so intimate, where you were violated in that way. I felt like the scene played out beautifully. Quentin, I'm happy that you are still here and that you're able to tell your story and own your story. And I just have a feeling that you are already walking in your success. I look forward to seeing how the rest of your narrative plays out on the show. But I really liked you this week, Quentin. I was kind of concerned because you kind of in the background, but you came back, and you came back in a really powerful and impactful way. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you interact with everybody and how your narrative unfolds over the season. So let's go to the next thing that I liked, or the next person that I'm liking. Let's me and make sure that y'all are liking and sharing. Okay, since we're already talking about Quentin, um I really liked this interaction, and I really liked this moment. First of all, before we even got to the scene, so episode 4 opens up, is a continuation of Dominique's birthday party, which was hosted at Kendall's house. Kendall is the one on the left with the braids. And Kendall, you have very beautiful skin. Like, your skin is amazing. Like, I was looking at the scene when you were in your house, and your house looks beautiful, but your skin looks gorgeous. I just want to say that. But while they were in the group scene for Dominique's birthday, the conversation of Quentin being away and being away from the group came up. And instantly you could see that Quentin was reserved about the situation, didn't really want to divulge much, just said, "Hey, I've been away and I'll talk about this at a later time." Excuse me. And the badger was kind of led by K-Star and some other people, and Dominique a little bit, although I think Dominique wasn't trying to be malicious or anything, but you could just tell that Quentin was uncomfortable. And then we later learned on that Quentin was released from jail the same day that he came to the party. And I really, 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 I really, really, really like, I really, really, I really, really like that Kendall was the only one. Kendall was the only, well, not probably not the only one, but Kendall was the most vocal of saying, "Hey, maybe we don't need to have this conversation right now. Maybe we don't need to broach this right now." He already said he would discuss this at a later date when he feels comfortable. So let's do that. I really like that, because it just showed how even amongst the group, there was a that Ken displayed a high level of emotional intelligence, emotional awareness. And then I love that it was followed up with this moment where Ken and Quentin were getting to know each other. It just, I really liked how it opened the door and then naturally led to this particular scene. Right. So yeah, I just think this is a good moment. Also, I'm more interested to know who Ken is as a person. It just gives layers to Ken's character, because I think it would be so easy for Ken to be seen as it would be so easy for Ken to be seen as materialistic and elitist, because Ken does have a nice house and Ken is being portrayed as having these nice things. But I love how his emotional intelligence, it just adds a layer of depth to Ken. And just seeing Ken and Quentin interact in this way, I just really love the scene. I think this was a good look. And yeah, I'm really eager to just learn more about Ken, and to also see Ken's arc unfold, to see Ken and Quentin's friendship unfold, and just to see how the dynamic takes shape over the season. So now we will go to the next person that I like. And I don't know, should I save this person for last? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Um, 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 uh. Okay, let's go here. Next thing that I like, Tony Bryce, love you down. I actually know Tony. And I just love the role that she's playing on this season. Just being the connector, being the mediator, being the star that we know Tony is, and it just feels good seeing her in the mix. She brings a level of balance to the group. She brings a level of levity. On this particular episode, she was documented going to New York, going to the latex ball to receive an award. I am aware not only how active Tony is in her acting career, but she's also very active in the Kiki ballroom scene and in HIV advocacy and prevention. So you look good. Your storyline is good. We've already shown that if you're in conflict, you are demonstrating what it means to just get to the bottom of it. Conflict resolution skills, resolve. This is what me as the viewer I like to see. So I just have to give a big ups to Tony, her moment in the episode, and just her presence across the first four episodes. I really, 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 really liked her. I liked her presence. I just like Tony. How can you not like Tony in this mix of people? Okay. And I think the last thing that I like, and it's not necessarily related to his performance in this episode. I just like him as a character, and I just think he's a fucking kiki. Um, let's go here. Noelle. I like this bitch. I like Noelle. Noelle is a breath of fresh air. Noelle is the comedic relief. I like the aesthetic. I like the presentation. I like the energy. I like the personality. Now, Noelle didn't really have a big moment in this episode. Towards the end of this episode, the conflict or possible conflict was teased between Noelle and Tramel. So that was kind of a moment. I don't know if something is going to pop off in the next episode, but as a personality in this group, I like Noelle because Noelle is cunt, but also Noelle is not scared, and I like seeing people go for the gusto. I like Noelle's personality, and I honestly feel like as somebody that watches a lot of these reality shows, particularly in the Black queer vein, I don't feel like I've seen anybody like Noelle yet, and that makes me excited. Now I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what it is that Noelle does or what Noelle is chasing, but I don't care because I like Noelle. I just like Noelle, and like I love Noelle in group scenes because Noelle is not messy, but Noelle is fun, and Noelle knows how to keep the thing moving without coming off as obnoxious. So I really like Noelle. Now I don't know if there is a storyline or if we're going to get anything serious from Noelle, but I am very curious to see how Noelle's storyline pans out, even if there's no personal storyline development, and Noelle is just going to help move the storyline along for other people, particularly in group scenes. I really, 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 really like Noelle, and I'm a fan. I am a fan. I am a fan, and I just like we of course we need people who are doing traces. We definitely need that, and but we need people who are like personalities, like people who would be able to step off of Chasing Atlanta and go to any other mix, and their personality be a draw. And for Noelle is that for me deeply. Um, Hi Sammy. Sammy, I don't have you. Well, no, I don't have a picture of you, but I like you, Sammy. I really like you, and you are so adorable. You are so adorable, and you are a Sagittarius like me. Shout out to the Sagittariuses. You were your episode, you had more of a presence in the episode one and two. Um, I don't know if you've gotten married yet, but shout out to you and your relationship and your home. But you two are very adorable, and I like you too. I like you too, and I'm interested to see the expansion of your storyline and just the expansion of you in the group as well too. So shout out to you, Sammy. Shout out to you. I really like seeing you, and you look good on screen. You look good on camera. So shout out to you. Um, Okay, so I'm gonna put a pause on the things that I like. Okay, so the next two questions that Amani had again were things that I loathe and things that I can be worked on. I don't. Okay, so I don't feel comfortable really answering things that I loathe yet. Again, we're just in the beginning of the season, one and two. This is the first episode where all of the main cast are here. Nobody new got introduced. So I think I need to watch a couple of more episodes to really get into some patterns to see if there are some things that I loathe. But something that I just want to, I don't want to get into it now, but I definitely want to mention it and put a pin on it because I suspect that it's going to play a larger role in the storylines down the line. So towards the end of the episode, there was a fight between Althea, who's a cis woman that's on the cast, and Nova, who's a trans woman that's on the cast. It gives me concern because I am concerned about what's on the horizon. And no shade to the production team, totally trust the production team, know that this is something that they can handle. However, Nova and how her character has been presented, I just have concerns just about how far this type of conflict will go down the rabbit hole and how much problematic stuff we will get from the conflict, particularly from Nova, because Nova, and I'm going to be delicate as we approach this, only because Nova is a trans woman, and also Nova, what has been stated on, she stated on the show at the time of recording, she's very new into her transition, and just some of the ways in which she is moving, I know because I remember what it was like to be a young trans girl trying to find your way, trying to find love, and trying to find your place in everywhere. So yeah, so I sympathize with Nova on a lot of levels, but I see a lot of areas and a lot of ways in which she needs to grow. So I'm not going to say that I loathe it, but I have my eye on the conflict because this could either go really good or it could go really bad. But I think that is going to take me into the things that I think that can be worked on. So where do I want to start? Well, since I'm already talking about the conflict, let's go. Let's just go there. Yeah. I so let's start here. I watched episode 4 last night, and then I watched it again this morning as I was making notes for making notes for this particular video. Okay. Nova, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this. From what I saw, I don't think Althea was coming for you. One. And two, I don't believe from what I saw that your response, that whatever was going on, it warrant that level of response. It was an over response. And no shade, and I say this with love, you started with her. You started with her because when the whole question came up about the bacterial vaginosis or the BV came up, like you started with her when you said, "Oh, she would know about that." Like you threw it to that lady. I watched it again and I watched it again, and you threw it to that lady, and I know where you said you felt like she tried it because when she said us women, and again, I can't tell you how to feel about that, but we have to go based off what was presented to us. You started with that lady when you said, "Oh, she would know about BV." So I think we gotta take ownership for that. We have to, as we mature, we have to take, even if we are not completely at fault. Well, in this case, you were, girl, because you started with her, and then you was the first to throw hands. Like you was the first, you was the first to throw hands, and girl, you took the dig, calling that lady dirty, and like, girl, come on now, come on, sis. Like again, you are a beautiful girl, and I think you have a lot of ways to learn and grow. But you started with this lady. You started with this lady, and I'm curious to see how this storyline resolves, if the conflict is able to be resolved or if it escalates. But from what I have seen on of Althea from the show, and I forgot to add Althea to things that I like. I really like Althea on the show because even though she's a straight woman, just her presentation and just like what she represents, there's something inherently queer about her, even if she's not a lesbian or bi. And I just like her on the show. I like her look. I like that she sings. I like that her voice is different. She's a different type of singing voice. Like she puts me in the mind of the singer. Her name is Tenariel. Her name looks like Tanarel, and I was calling her Tanarel for the longest, but her name is Tenariel. Very big, voluptuous black woman body, looks things. Her voice is very, very like husky and deep and moody, and Althea's voice and just how she delivers songs and just the tone and the timbre of her voice reminds me of Tenario a lot. But I like her on the show, and I just usually, as a trans woman, you can cis when cis women don't see it. Like it's just you just feel it, you just sense it. I don't think that's necessarily the case with Althea. And I'm open to being wrong because again, I'm just watching a show. I don't know these people in person. But Mama, Miss Nova, I felt like you overreacted to the situation. You overplayed your hand. I'm not gonna say that you were looking for a moment because I don't know, but I feel like there were other ways to, if you felt like Althea was trying you, there were just other ways to address it rather than trying to throw a shot at her and then trying to swing at that lady when from what it appears, it seems like you don't know her from a can of paint. So I would like to see this relationship get worked on, but overall, no, but I would just like to see your maturity and your growth as a person because now I'm seeing a pattern. Because you kind of did the same thing with Tony when you were upset with her because you felt like she invited you to the ball and there was no follow through and there was a miscommunication, and then you kind of threw it in the group outside of the ball, and then when you could have resolved it that night, you dipped off. So it to me it to me, and I'm saying this with grace and I'm saying this with love, it seems like you, from what I've seen, it seems like you have the propensity to blow situations out of proportion. Okay. And again, we all have been there. Like I have been there. But being maturing is being able to have things happen to you, take a breath and really assess like did this really happen? Is this as bad as I think it is? Or maybe is there something else leading me to thinking that this is more than it was, right? So I see that lack of maturity from you in these episodes, and I'm interested to see how your arc develops as the show goes on. But I just really I hope that it can be worked on. And no shade, as the women on the show, whether you're cis or trans, we're all still women. we need to be having each other's back. We need to be sticking up for each other. And yeah, I just it concerns me, but like I said, I trust the powers that be. But it's just like Miss Nova, you started with Althea, and we have to own up to that. But you started with Althea. Why am I calling this lady Althea? Althea. Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to be worked on, I'm going to stay on you, Nova, because I'm seeing things that are concerning me, and I do care. I do care. I do care. This is not to read you, but I'm concerned. The scene with you. How do I want to approach this? Okay, I am concerned about you one being in a relationship with somebody, and I don't know if that person was incarcerated or not, but then you're trying to entertain your ex-boyfriend who you've been dating on and off for 10 years, and then you wanted him to come see you, and then you broke the cardinal rule of womanhood. Girl, you don't pay for none of these men for nothing, especially to come see you. And what I have learned just throughout life, you don't have to convince anybody to be anywhere. If somebody really wants to be somewhere and wants to do something and wants to show up for you, they're going to move heaven and earth to do it. And for me, if my piece would have missed the flight, I would have just paid it, got my little refund back, and found me another piece. I'm just no longer in the business of begging grown men to be where they don't want to be. Also, I remember what it was like when I first transitioned, and I still had a certain set of butch queens that I either dated or hooked up with before I transitioned, and then dealing with some of them after I transitioned, because there was another set that once I transitioned, they just did not see it, and it gave Chop City. But I understand the lure of going back, because there, even though you have transitioned, there is a comfort there. But I am here to say that if you are, as a trans woman dealing with a butch queen that has made it clear that he has a problem with you because you're a woman, or he still want to sleep with men or whatever, like, baby, you got to let that go. Like, you just have to let it go. And it's just so sad, because she said in the show she's lonely, she's in a new city, she doesn't really have family support. And I know what it's like to turn to these fickle men thinking that they're going to support you when really they just want to exploit you and use you. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I really hope that there is a path to, like, I would really be curious to ask Nova, like, do you love yourself? Like, because once you go down a path and you get to the place where you love yourself, you don't accept less than treatment from anybody that's trying to entertain you and be in your space. And it's sad. It's like, I I want Nova to grow. I think Nova has come off as immature, quick to judgment, quick to action, but the scene humanized her, and I do have compassion for her, and I remember being there. Like, I remember being there. I had a boyfriend that just finished doing a 10-year bid in the Maryland State Penitentiary, and dressed up like, girl, I have been there, girl, feeling like that was the best that I could get, or that was the best that I deserved, because I was a trans woman, and who else was going to love me, and yada 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 yada. But if you're fortunate, you'll be able to, like, grow through that and grow in yourself, and just accept a higher level of treatment. I really hope and wish that for you. I wish that you have a good support system around you, that outside of romantic love. And I know the desire to be partnered, or to have a partner, but your life has to be about more than that. It has, like, you have to have a good community of people, a good community of women, a good community of trans women around you. And no shade, girl, if you really want a man, you're in Atlanta, girl. You're in the Annie Trog, Haster Trog capital of the world. No, and, like, if you want a man, there is some man in the Atlanta metro area that can meet one or if not more of your needs. If you're just looking for a hookup, you can find that. But if you're looking for somebody that has experience and who's looking for a relationship, I'm sure that you can find that too. But you really don't start attracting that type of level of partner to you until you do the work on yourself to really fortify yourself and love yourself. So I I'm happy that the scene was in there because it really brought balance to your storyline. But I just really need to see this to be worked on. I really want to see this be worked on because I want all of my girls to get it. Like I want all of my girls to get it. And in 2026, we shouldn't have to be begging none of these men to show up. Like that should be a part of their DNA, them showing up for people that they're interested in. We should have no parts or presence in that. So I'm watching you, Nova. I'm coming with compassion, and I want to see more growth. And also, what is your chase? Because I feel like I don't know exactly what it is that she does, and I want to know. Is it like does she do like the beauty or cosmetics or makeup? Like I don't know, and I definitely want to know. So I'm watching you, Miss Nova. I'm watching. We just had the CEO come in the room. Hey, Hey, Ondario. How are you? So, congratulations on a successful season. Let's give it up for the storytelling. Let's give it up for the storytelling. Let's give it up for the balance. Let's give it up for the cohesion. Like I am really loving the season. I'm really not that I don't love any of the seasons, but I'm just really loving the flow of the situation, the balance of the situation. So, congratulations to you. And if you're in here like I said at the beginning of this video, my reviews are not, I don't know any of the behind the scenes stuff, and that's not my lane. I am just here to judge what is on my screen, what I've watched, and to do it in a way that is honest, but that is respectful, but also that creates community. So shout outs to you, CEO, and the entire production team at Chasing Atlanta season 7. But yeah, this is good. This is fab. So let me go on to the next situation that I feel can be worked on. No, 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 no. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this image in of Althea. But I put this in. You could just tell Althea was really hurt. Like she's really hurt, and I don't know. I hope we're not going down of setting it up like she's transphobic or whatever. But you could just tell that Althea was really hurt. Mama was enjoying her meal. The food looked like it was really good. Can I have a plate? And like she just looked like she was caught off guard. So she looked like her feelings was hurt. And I really, 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 really hope that they are able to resolve this issue because we just need we in these times we need women working together and being on the same team. So I just really hope that they're able to resolve that. And I just feel like Althea probably gets a lot, but she just seems like a very sweet lady. And I have been enjoying her and her chase and what she's been offering to this platform. The next thing that I feel that can be fixed or should be fixed. Why did I have this picture in here? Okay. I had this picture in here because this was the start of the conflict, and I specifically, excuse me, took the screenshot when the conversation of BB came up, and Nova kind of sparked it when she said, "Well, you would know about BB." So I did my study, darling, and I'm willing to debate and go back and forth about this. Like I said, I hope the ladies are able to fix that. And this is probably the last thing that can be worked on, or just the thing that I'm keeping my eye on. These two right here. These two right here. Now, let me start off by saying this. I think they are a kiki. I watched them on the Chasing Panels platform, and I think they are a key. K-Star is definitely a key. So I will say that I feel like they are needed, that they add spice. I feel like K-Star maybe adds a little bit too much spice than is necessary at particular times. And I feel like Tramel is coming off as a good person, but I feel like this is one of those situations where Tramel can go down by being guilty by association, right? So I'm very cute, and I remember watching the first status of G Status ATL Hustle, and I remember Tramel on G Status ATL Hustle, and I don't necessarily feel that Tramel was bad on that show or got a negative edit, but I believe Tramel's association with the other BQ that was a stylist and that was a singer and they had the piercings on his, like, I remember how Tramel got a bad rap because of his association with that boy, and I'm getting the same energy and vibes about like this. Now I know that they are best friends. I know that they live together. I know that, but I just felt like in this episode, K Star was putting 20 on 10. And it was just like, mama, we get it, but also read the room. Read the room. And I'm interested to see if so at the end of episode 4, there was a possible conflict tease between Tramel and Noel. I'm interested to see how that goes. But I'm putting this in the this can be worked on category because I'm just watching. I'm watching just to see how this develops, to see how this impacts the larger friend group. So I'm just watching, but I like, we all come to these shows for the mess, and we all love the mess. But I'm looking for balance. I'm looking for levity. I'm looking for nuance and levels, and I hope that what we get this season is just not K-Star doing the most and then Tramel going down because Tramel is guilty by association. And we know this is Tramel's big return back to reality TV. And I really want Tramel to get the things that he deserves. Like I said, this is no shade. I like them. I enjoy them on I enjoy them when they are reviewing the other shows, and I enjoy their banter. But I have concerns about them in this group. I just have concerns about them in this group, and they have seemed to turn a lot of people off. And I will just be monitoring how it just improves over the season. But again, this is no shade. This is not intended to be personal or character attacks or digs. I'm just judging what I saw on the show. Definitely want to preface that. But all in all, this was a good 4th episode. All in all, this was a good um, first set of 4 episodes. I really feel like we're getting to know the cast. Uh we're getting to see just different dynamics form with the main group and even with the smaller group. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I like what I see. And I'm looking to see how things develop and how things build out. But this is a really good batch of folks. And let me see if I can take it back to this. Yeah, if you're not watching, why haven't you? Y'all should go stream the latest episodes. For Chasing Reality, I love Chasing Reality so much. About 2 weeks ago, when I was still in my depression from getting laid off, I had binged the entire first season of Chasing LA. It's no shade. I don't feel like that season. I feel like that season got a rough break, but looking back on Chasing LA season 1, that was actually a really controversial season, but it was a really amazing season. A really amazing reunion, a lot of great moments. King Payne is still a kiki to me. And it's just a lot of great content on Chasing Reality. So I really encourage y'all to go over there and not only support the show, but support all of the shows. Also, reminder, if you have not, please go like the video, like this video, please go share it. If you're on the replay gang, please like this video, please share it. That brings me to the end of my review. My plan is to review these every week. And for now, shout out to Amani Van Zab, I'm going to stay with the things that I like, the things that I loathe, and the things that can be worked on, because we want everybody to grow into their fullness and grow into their potential. Hell, that's why they are on the show. That's why they are on the show. It's just some of the best storytelling, and I'm excited for episode 5. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the floor to see if anybody wants to come on and give their opinions about the episode or anything related to the episode. So, I will go ahead and do that now. Girl, now she got a job rejection in the middle of going live, honey. But it's all good. It's the name of the game, y'all. You put yourself out there, you're not going to get everything. But we just want to keep it moving. Again, if you want to come on here, please click the link and come up here to express your opinions, thoughts, and views about this latest episode. I'm debating whether to do another topic, but it's so worlds away from Chasing Atlanta that I think I'm going to hold off on that topic. I may or may not go live tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to go live tomorrow because I made plans to go link up with a friend. So and then I'll be going out tomorrow night. So I don't think tomorrow is viable. So yeah, I might do a live show this weekend, or I just might wait till Monday. We'll just see how I feel. I wish I could play music on here, but I don't want to. At some point, I'm trying to monetize my channel, and I don't want any strikes, content strikes, because you know how these corporations are. You know how they are, darling. If I do not hear from anybody, I think I'm going to shut this down at the 1 hour mark. We've done our hour, which I'm happy about. that is my minimum for being up here, just to just do my hour and going about my day, because I do have other things that I have to do. But I really enjoy spending this time with y'all, going over the episode. This was very easy to do because, like I said, I love the channel, I love the platform. So this is just very easy for me to do and have this conversation. So we've hit the 1 hour mark. So I'm going to end this stream here. I will see you all likely on Monday. So yeah, I'll see y'all on Monday. And thank you so much for supporting me this week and for just engaging with me. I really feel like I'm getting back to myself. And as I develop this brand, as I develop this platform, as I think of more conversations that I want to have. And thank you for coming on this journey with me. And I will see y'all on the next episode of AeonEsq Live. Again, make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube and make sure that you like this video, please. And I will see you all next week. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Bye.